In order to conceive the Wolf King's pup, the little rabbit actually planned to drug and knock him unconscious, but just as she was about to make her move, the drug proved too potent, and she died before she could even start. When she woke up again, a different soul inhabited her body. Under the influence of the aphrodisiac herb, she ended up defiling the Wolf King in a daze. Once she regained her senses, she realized she had transmigrated to the Beastman continent. She had possessed a female rabbit with the same name. After absorbing the original owner's memories, she couldn't help but start cursing. The original owner was a despised, wicked she-beast. To become the Wolf King's queen, she targeted him when he was weakened by his tribulation. She used drugs to try and force her way in, but the original body was too weak, and she died from the drug's intensity before the deed was done. That's when the young woman transmigrated and took the benefit. I'm doomed. I'm absolutely doomed. If the Wolf King catches me, he'll definitely turn me into a spicy rabbit head dish. Must run. To avoid becoming a snack, she quickly put on her pants, transformed into her rabbit form, and fled. Not long after she escaped, the Wolf King finally woke up. The effects of the aphrodisiac were finally fading. That bastard. You took advantage of me and think you can run? It won't be that easy. A powerful, crushing pressure filled the air. All plants and animals nearby were instantly frozen into ice. His subordinates rushed over after seeing the commotion, their faces pale with fear. My king, what happened? A she-beast was here last night. Dig 3 feet into the ground if you must, but find her for me. The mighty Wolf King had actually been defiled by a she-beast. He initially wanted to order her execution once found, but remembering the soft, delicate feeling of her in his arms, the Wolf King suddenly changed his mind. When you find her, bring her directly to me. No one could believe a she-beast had dared to plot against the king. She had touched the king's forbidden scale, yet the king was letting her off so easily. Which she-beast could possibly be so capable? Meanwhile, the young woman the Wolf King was hunting was stumbling all the way back to her home. Just as she reached the cave entrance, she felt a surge of familiar energy inside her body. My wood element power and spatial storage actually transmigrated with me. She tried to activate her power, but only felt a faint breath of nature. Sigh, it has reverted to its initial, weakest state. Well, at least there's plenty of vegetation here. I have time to recover slowly. Suddenly, her stomach began to growl loudly. Qingyan rubbed her belly. After a night of tossing and turning, I'm starving. But the house was completely empty, save for a small piece of dried, lean meat. Her older brother, Yi Rong, saw his sister return. This is the beast meat our uncle hunted yesterday. I'll roast it for you in a moment, then you can eat. The original owner's father was long gone. One brother was sickly and weak, while the other was unconscious. The whole family relied on their mother's strength. Luckily, their uncle was the head of the rabbit tribe, so he often helped them out. But no matter how little food they had, her mother and brother always let her eat first. They doted on her very much. However, that tiny piece of meat wasn't enough to satisfy her. Qingyan remembered the river she saw on her way back, so she suggested taking her brother to catch prickly beasts. The people here call fish prickly beasts because they are covered in bones. They are considered bad tasting and dangerous to eat, but fish are actually wonderful things, delicious and very nutritious. Plus, the riverbank was away from the tribe's main path, so it was a convenient place to get plenty of fish. Moreover, the fish in this world were generally huge. Looking at the big, fat fish in the river, Qingyan's eyes lit up with excitement. Yi Rong didn't understand why his sister wanted to catch these prickly beasts, but he was happy as long as she was happy. Qingyan used a makeshift harpoon to start fishing. Her movements were precise. She never missed a strike. In a short time, she had caught 7 or 8 large fish. Yi Rong stood by, completely stunned. When did my sister become so skilled? They strung the fish with grass ropes and headed back. On the way, she collected plant essence to upgrade her wood element power. She even got lucky and caught a wild chicken that hit a tree and found some abandoned wild eggs. She knew the protein in these was many times higher than in beef. Back home, she taught Yi Rong how to clean the fish. She planned to turn them into fish balls. They were easier to store and could be shared with their uncle. Thinking of how weak everyone in the family was, she took seasonings from her spatial storage to stew the chicken. Her mother, Yi Xian, arrived at the cave entrance and smelled a wonderful aroma. During today's hunt, they encountered a fierce beast. Although she returned unharmed, she hadn't caught anything at all. This made Yi Xian feel very guilty. Her children were going to go hungry again. She didn't expect Qingyan to have found food. Looking at the small eggs in the pot, Yi Xian was confused. Weren't these usually eaten raw? They didn't taste good, but they could fill a stomach in an emergency. But seeing the peeled, translucent eggs, Yi Xian felt her entire worldview being challenged. Daughter, you should eat. Qingyan peeled an egg and gave it to her mother. Yi Xian was skeptical, but her eyes widened the moment she tasted it. Can this thing really be this delicious? Next, she tried the freshly cooked fish balls. The savory flavor was so good she forgot to swallow for a moment. She never thought the hated prickly beasts could be turned into balls and become so delicious after being cooked. Qingyan asked her mother to bring some over to their uncle later. There are many prickly beasts in the river, and her uncle could organize a team to catch them. Once they learn how to make fish balls, the rabbit tribe would never have to go hungry again. Qingyan was someone who repaid kindness. It was thanks to her uncle's help that their family survived their hardest times. Mother and brother enjoyed the meal immensely. Qingyan felt that pure, natural ingredients were the most flavorful. A smile finally spread across her face. While eating, she suddenly felt a warm current in her belly. She paused, but thinking it was a mistake, she ignored it. At the same time, the Wolf King, Yu Yu, was about to begin his secluded cultivation when he suddenly snapped his eyes open. He felt a powerful, instinctive bloodline bond. How is this possible? The only she-beast he had ever touched was that female rabbit from the other night. Did she conceive after just one time? He thought the odds were low, but he immediately ordered his subordinates to investigate. They had to find that she-rabbit as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, after eating her fill, Qingyan lay on her stone bed to sleep. In her dreams, she saw a pure, snow-white little wolf pup. It blinked its adorable eyes at her. Her heart was practically melting from the cuteness. The next morning, Qingyan followed the gathering team into the forest. Not long after entering, Qingyan discovered some radishes. Her eyes brightened. As expected of the Beastman continent, the primeval forest is full of treasures. She used a bone knife to start digging, but this behavior seemed very strange to the other tribe members. We came here to gather food. Why are you wasting time digging up grass? They tried to remind Qingyan of their mission. Qingyan knew their understanding was limited. To them, these were weeds, not food. So, after digging up a large radish, she explained to everyone. This is a radish, and it's edible. Everyone was shocked to see the large tuber in her hand. There are actually fruits underground? All this time, the fruits they gathered grew on trees. They had never seen fruit that grew in the dirt. It completely overturned their common sense. At the same time, they realized if there was food underground, they wouldn't need to search so hard for tree fruits anymore. After all, they had picked all the fruit nearby. Going deeper into the forest was too far and too dangerous. Is that really edible? What if it's poisonous? The young woman understood their caution. She wiped the dirt off the white radish, peeled the skin with her bone knife, and then took a large bite right in front of him. It was fresh and crunchy. I must say, this beastman body gets hungry very easily. Eating one radish was just a light snack for her. Everyone was both shocked and impressed. They couldn't believe she dared to eat unknown food. You are actually willing to risk your life to test it. If this truly is food, then for our tribe, you have added a whole new source of life. The entire tribe will be grateful to you. Being looked at with such reverent eyes made Qingyan a little embarrassed. She came from an apocalyptic future, so she obviously knew radishes were safe to eat. She wasn't as heroic as they thought. Under Qingyan's direction, the gathering team each dug up a full basket of radishes. They also picked some wild hawthorns. Seeing the hawthorns made her crave candied fruit, but unfortunately, there was no sugar here. Getting honey wouldn't be easy either. The bee beasts here were very aggressive. No one wanted to mess with those bees. While everyone was picking hawthorns, she wandered around a bit and found some unripened chestnut trees. Her wood element power was perfect for ripening them. The tribe wasn't far from here. She could come back alone later and use her power. For now, she left them alone. She didn't want to expose her abilities so early. She used her bone knife to clear some bushes, and a plant on the ground caught her attention. It was shepherd's purse, a wild vegetable. If she had flour, she could make shepherd's purse dumplings. The taste would be incredible. As she was digging up the greens, she suddenly felt that something was off. It felt as if someone was watching her, but when she looked around, everything seemed normal. She didn't know that in a hidden corner, two wolf beastmen were quietly retreating. Xue Feng and Xue Lei were on the verge of tears, feeling sorry for their master. Their handsome, dashing king had actually been trapped by that despised little rabbit. Don't worry, my king. When we found her, she was so poor she was forced to eat grass. She'll probably starve to death soon anyway. Consider your revenge taken. As soon as he finished speaking, Yu Yu glared at him with a murderous gaze. They were both so terrified they didn't dare say another word. The king is furious. Did we say something wrong? Yu Yu withdrew his warning look and went back to looking at the information in his hand. Yi Qingyan. So that is her name. A small smile played on his lips. He remembered the passion of that night and that stirring bloodline aura. Yu Yu slowly stood up and walked out of the cave, unaware she was being watched. The young woman continued happily digging up greens. The gathering team followed her lead. After finishing with the greens, Qingyan found some delicious-looking mushrooms. Qingyan, you really can't eat those. They are poisonous and will kill you. One of our tribesmen ate them before and died instantly. Gathering these has been strictly forbidden ever since. Everyone tried desperately to talk Qingyan out of it. Suddenly, even the greens in their hands felt dangerous. They saw her eat the radish, but they didn't know if these greens were safe either. Qingyan saw the concern in their eyes and felt a wave of warmth in her heart. She patiently explained to them. These gray mushrooms are safe to eat. It's the brightly colored ones that are toxic. Those are the ones to avoid. She taught them in detail how to distinguish between them, explaining which were safe and which weren't. Seeing that they were still hesitant, Qingyan told them to just wait and see if she was okay tonight. They felt a bit guilty, knowing she shouldn't have to risk her life testing food, but she wouldn't listen to their warnings, and they were too afraid to try it themselves, so they could only watch helplessly as she dug up a large quantity of mushrooms. At dinner that night, Yi Xian and Yi Rong rushed to eat the mushrooms and greens first. They thought if there was poison, they should be the first to find out, so Qingyan wouldn't be harmed. Qingyan was deeply moved by their gesture. Mom, brother, stop fighting over it. I already tasted it earlier. It's perfectly fine. The two of them looked a little sheepish. They believed her, of course, but they cared about her too much to risk her safety. After they took a few sips, they were instantly won over by the fresh mushroom soup. The warmth and flavor were incredible. This is so good. They stopped talking and just focused on devouring the food. Watching her mother and brother eat so happily, a smile appeared on Kinjian's face. She loved this feeling of family warmth. The Beastman continent actually had plenty of food. People just lacked the knowledge to find it. Once she started planting crops and raising some poultry, their lives would improve significantly. That night, after the rabbit tribe had fallen asleep, Yi Qingyan quietly got up. She transformed into her rabbit form and ran to the woods. She found those chestnut trees and used her wood power to ripen them. She used a long pole to knock down the ripe chestnuts. However, the process was slow, and she was already exhausted from using her power. She was soon panting for breath. If only a gust of wind could blow them all down. Qingyan muttered to herself as she continued to strike the branches. Just then, a sudden, powerful wind swept through the trees. All the chestnuts on the tree fell at once, and amazingly, they all avoided hitting her. Yi Qingyan's eyes widened. No way. They really all fell? Excitedly, she gathered them and put them in her spatial storage. But as she was picking them up, she felt something was wrong. She slowly lifted her head, and there, not far away, stood a beautiful man bathed in moonlight. Just one look was enough to take her breath away with his stunning features. Yi Qingyan was stunned, thinking she was hallucinating. As she took in that handsome, elegant face, the memory she had tried so hard to forget came flooding back. Isn't this the Wolf King, Yu, from that night? Oh my god. Did he come here to settle the score? Is he going to tear me apart? Because of the distance, she couldn't see the expression in his eyes, nor could she tell if he held any murderous intent. Yi Qingyan wanted to explain something, but her mouth was dry and no words came out. Instinct took over, and she immediately transformed. The little rabbit zipped away in a flash. Yi Qingyan used every ounce of her strength to run as fast as possible. She reached home in an instant. Once she was back inside, she made sure no one followed her before letting out a breath. Yi Qingyan lay on her stone bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. She couldn't figure out what Yu wanted. On the other side, Yu silently watched the direction the girl had fled. When she had transformed earlier, he had clearly felt the presence of his purple bloodline. He could be certain now Yi Qingyan was indeed carrying his child. When Yu realized this, a faint, doting smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Does the little rabbit like these things? He looked at the chestnuts on the ground. A soft breeze blew by. The next morning, she was woken by her mother's and brother's voices. She wanted to ignore them and keep sleeping until she heard some crucial words. Mom, did you ask someone to bring these prickly fruits? No. Weren't these what you gathered yesterday? Yi Qingyan snapped her eyes open. She scrambled to the cave entrance. Sure enough, there was a pile of chestnuts on the ground. And the most amazing thing? They were all deshelled. She wouldn't even have to worry about the prickly skins. Instead of being happy, however, Yi Qingyan looked around with intense suspicion. She even used her wood power to sense her surroundings, but found nothing unusual. She couldn't help but think of Yu from last night. Where did you get these? Last night I couldn't sleep, so I went and gathered some. We can store them as food for the winter. If you need anything, tell me. Don't go into the forest alone. Qingyan agreed absent-mindedly. She didn't plan on going back anyway. Who knows if that Wolf King is still waiting there? He could crush her with a single finger. Supposedly, he had reached the 9th rank of power, and no one could stand against him. For the next few days, she stayed cooped up at home. She wanted to avoid meeting Yu again. Truth be told, she felt very guilty. Even though it was the previous owner who drugged him, she was the one who actually, did it. During these few days, her mother and brother brought back plenty of food, and she cooked all sorts of delicious meals. But she started noticing something strange. Her appetite seemed to be growing constantly. Even though she was trying to hold back, she ended up eating the majority of the family's food. These supplies were meant to be salted to last through the winter, but she had eaten almost everything. Instead of being angry, her mother and brother looked at her with pride and relief. To them, a big appetite was a sign of health. Qingyan thought about it. She couldn't just sit around and eat them out of house and home. Nothing strange had happened for a while, so she figured meeting Yu was just an accident. It was time for her to go out again. She needed to find more food for the winter. The next day, she joined the gathering team once more, but this time was different. Everyone now looked to Qingyan as their leader. They gathered whatever she said was edible. Without any hesitation, they found many mushrooms and wood ear fungi along the way. While everyone was busy, Qingyan wandered off a bit, and she found something truly amazing. Sweet potatoes. Qingyan's eyes sparkled. With these, she could make sugar, and even sweet potato starch. Visions of delicious food danced in her head. Digging them up was quick, and she stored plenty in her spatial storage. Then she called the others over. She thought to herself, they should save some as a staple food. Next spring, they could clear some land near the tribe to farm them. But this massive field of sweet potatoes on the mountain was enough to feed the entire tribe. At the sound of her voice, everyone came running toward her. Their baskets were already full of wood ears. When they saw the sweet potatoes, they were stunned. Qingyan, you're incredible. Did you find more food underground? These are as big as radishes, but they look different. Can we eat these raw like radishes too? They looked at her with hopeful eyes. Since Qing Yan was digging them, they had to be food. If these were edible, it would be wonderful. The crowd was buzzing with excitement. Thanks to Qing Yan, over the last few days, the tribe had gathered enough food for the winter. These are called sweet potatoes. They taste even better than radishes. We can steam or roast them when we get back. Everyone began digging with enthusiasm. Their baskets were quickly filled to the brim. This trip was a massive success for the gathering team. Even with heavy baskets on their backs, they were humming cheerful tunes on the way back. They chatted about recent events in the forest. She learned that a genius in the cat tribe had made a breakthrough. The entire cat tribe was out gathering food for him. This left very little prey for the rabbit tribe to hunt. Qing Yan was confused by this news. If the whole tribe was struggling to find meat, then how were her mother and uncle bringing back so many wild beasts every day? They had enough to eat and even leftovers for pickling. Her mother had even mentioned that the beasts seemed to be delivering themselves to their door. Something was definitely wrong. Qing Yan thought back to that morning. She found the shelled chestnuts. She realized something. A shiver went down her spine. No, it couldn't be. How could it be him? He'd be lucky if he didn't seek revenge, let alone help her family. Suddenly, a sound caught her ear. Qing Yan gestured with her hand. Everyone immediately went silent, transformed, and hid in nearby burrows. A moment later, 2 cat tribe scouts passed by. I clearly heard something just now. How can there be nothing here? Maybe we were just too late. Let's keep moving. They got lucky this time. If we could have caught a few rabbits, would have been rewarded. It doesn't matter. The warriors of our tribe are already surrounding them. The rabbit tribe soon, the entire tribe will be at our mercy. The group's expressions darkened upon hearing this. Chief, this is very dangerous. They needed to get back quickly to warn the others. A hint of madness flickered in Qingjian's eyes. She immediately forced herself to absorb the surrounding energy to boost her strength. With extreme speed, she flashed behind one of the cat tribe scouts. The ancient blade in her hand swiftly cut him down. The dying cat beast's eyes widened. He couldn't believe he had been killed just like that. The other scout snapped out of his shot. He lunged at Qing Yan with killing intent. Qingjian's body felt the strain of the forced power boost. It caused her great discomfort. But she didn't care about that right now. Those who knew her knew she was fiercely protective. If you want to touch her family, then die. At this moment, Yu Rong and the others also came out to help, but the power gap was too large. Even with so many of them working together, they could only delay the cat beast's attack. The cat beast, tied up by the others, couldn't kill Qing Yan immediately, giving her a chance to catch her breath. Seeing her companions being heavily injured one by one while trying to protect her, Qing Yan grit her teeth and gathered all her power again. Finding the perfect moment, she stabbed the powerful rank 4 cat beast. He slowly collapsed to the ground. Everyone looked at Qing Yan in utter shock. They couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. A female rabbit had actually killed 2 powerful rank 4 cat beasts. Qingjian's steps faltered and she stumbled back. She leaned against a tree, enduring the pain in her body. Her stomach was aching for some reason, as if something inside was kicking wildly. The situation was critical. Qing Yan told the others to go back and bring reinforcements. She then quickly transformed into her original form and ran in another direction. Her mother and uncle were out hunting together. They were likely being surrounded by the cat tribe as well. Qingjian's speed was incredibly fast. She vanished from sight in the blink of an eye. Even if the others wanted to stop her, it was too late. They had no choice but to do as she said and inform the tribe. Relying on her aura sensing ability, Qing Yan soon arrived at the location of her mother and uncle. They were fighting side by side, surrounded by 6 cat tribe warriors. Her mother was on the verge of collapsing. Qing Yan didn't hesitate. She rushed into the circle to protect her mother. Her rapid devouring ability swept through the encirclement, but it pushed her body way past its limit. She suddenly coughed up several mouthfuls of blood. Most importantly, the pain in her stomach was constant, making it impossible for her to focus on her powers. At that very moment, the second Qing Yan felt that sharp pain and coughed up blood. Yu, the Wolf King who was in seclusion, suddenly opened his eyes. He soared into the air. Frost covered everything in his path. Who dares touch my woman? He felt the change in the bloodline bond. He knew she was in grave danger. Yu had to break his seclusion, even though doing so now would have a major impact on his cultivation. He couldn't just hide away. Moving like a gust of wind, he appeared before Qing Yan in mere moments. He gently caught Qingjian's swaying body, and with a single wave of his sleeve, the 6 cat beasts were sent flying like broken kites. They all spat blood as they fell. Looking at the silver-haired man who had suddenly appeared, they realized it was Yu, the Wolf King. They trembled with sheer terror. Before they could even kneel and beg for mercy, a wind swept past, and their bodies exploded into dust. Her uncle, Yishan, thought they were done for. He didn't expect such a dramatic turn of events. Gazing at the Wolf King, Yu, he didn't know what to do with his hands or feet. Her mother, Yi Xian, was also stunned. Her daughter was being held by the Wolf King. She didn't dare move or ask questions. The Wolf King's aura was too powerful. It made their hearts race with fear. Qing Yan felt dizzy and her stomach hurt, until she fell into a cool, familiar embrace. She smelled a familiar and pleasant scent. She was momentarily dazed. Before she could recover, a warm and mystical power surged into her body. The pain in her body finally began to ease. Qing Yan slowly opened her eyes. Seeing the Wolf King, Yu, gave her a start. Yu signaled her not to move. He continued to pour his power into Qingjian's body to heal her. He also calmed the restlessness of the fetus. Qingyan stared at Yu motionless. To be honest, looking at him up close, he looked like a celestial immortal who had fallen to earth, exquisite as a poem or a painting. But then, the memories of what happened that night resurfaced. She was so embarrassed she wanted to find a hole to crawl into. Seeing she was better, Yu teased, "Little rabbit. Are you not going to run away this time? Thank you for just now. If not for you, she, her mother, and her uncle would surely have died. You are carrying my offspring. It is my duty to protect and care for you." "You say I'm carrying your child, just from that one night?" She had felt something strange in her belly before, but she had never thought in that direction. Looking back, the signs were all there. The little white wolf she dreamed of was the best proof. No wonder her stomach hurt whenever she used her powers. Qingyan was suddenly filled with joy. She looked at her belly with excitement and happiness. Yu had been observing her expression. He instantly understood that she also liked this child. He gently rubbed her hair with affection. He was grateful to her for carrying his child. From now on, he would take good care of her. When Qingyan was carried back to the tribe by Yu, the news quickly spread throughout the entire rabbit tribe, and the Wolf King had even helped deal with the cat beasts who wanted to ambush them. Now that the Wolf King was in their tribe, everyone was trembling with fear, but also kept busy. Many rabbits went to Yishan's place to ask for information. "Don't worry, everyone. Our tribe will be very safe from now on. Nothing will happen." It was no joke that Qingyan was carrying the Wolf King's child. That fact alone changed everything. In a cave of the rabbit tribe, Qingyan sat on a stone bed, looking at Yu sitting beside her. She felt her cave was too simple and crude. With his noble air, he really didn't belong in such a place. Having him stay here felt like he was being mistreated. "Does your body feel uncomfortable anywhere else?" "No, I feel much better now." She could feel the effects of the spirit pill Yu had given her. Her body had recovered a lot. The sharp pain was gone. She just felt a bit weak. Of course, this was the backlash from her forced devouring of the plant's power. Normally, she would have fallen into a deep coma. Feeling only weak now was already very good, and he had also infused a lot of his power into her. That power is extremely precious to any beastman, yet he had given it to her so easily. He looked cold and aloof, but he was actually very gentle, especially with that look of concern in his eyes. Qingyan couldn't quite figure out Yu's thoughts. She tried to find something to say but didn't know what. "That night, I didn't do it on purpose." After saying that, Qingyan wanted to bite her tongue off. Who would believe that? The aphrodisiac flower was clearly used by her. Even though it was her predecessor, she had transmigrated right at that moment. So it was her now. "Why did you run away?" I didn't." Qingyan felt guilty as she spoke. Yu watched her expression closely. Qingyan felt a bit flustered under his gaze. "You are the Wolf King. I am just a low-tier rabbit beast. Because of that flower, I thought you would be angry, so I thought I shouldn't appear before you again. Can we just wipe the slate clean?" "What?" "You flirt and then run? Use me and then toss me aside? Or were you planning to run away with my child?" "Yi Qingyan. Do you take this king for a tool?" "Get the rules straight. Since you slept with me, you have to take responsibility. If you want to make it up to me, fine. I want you, along with the child, in your belly. If the cat tribe dares to bother you, I'll wipe them out." He pulled the little female beast into his arms. His voice was incredibly seductive. "From now on, I, the Snow Wolf King, am your beast husband." He wanted all of her. Hearing these domineering words, Qingyan's heartstrings vibrated intensely. The Wolf King wants to be her beast husband. This was something she wouldn't even dare to dream of. "Then you are not allowed to have any other females." "Fine, I'll listen to you." "Were those chestnuts from that day from you? And the prey for my mother and uncle, was that your doing too?" "If you like them, I'll get more." The man wanted to take her back to the wolf tribe. Qingyan wanted to go, too, but going now would surely make other females die of jealousy. Yu didn't force her. "If you like it here, we will stay here. When you want to go to the wolf tribe, I will take you there." Yu stayed in the rabbit tribe for a few days before heading back to the wolf tribe to handle some work. After Yu left, she didn't stay idle. She prepared to go up the mountain to find more food. Her child was a prince of the wolf tribe. He would have responsibilities to shoulder in the future. Qingyan felt she should do something now. Find as much food as possible before winter arrives. Saving the rabbit tribe would also be helping Yu. Hearing that Qingyan wanted to go out, her mother was worried, but seeing her daughter's determined look, she could only let her go. Her uncle, Yishan, immediately assigned his eldest son to protect her. Qingyan walked along the mountain path. Occasionally casually touching flowers and trees to absorb some wood element power. At the same time, she looked for new resources. Before long, she found a patch of wild soybeans. Qingyan was thrilled. Visions of tofu flashed through her mind. Soy milk, tofu pudding, and other foods. Tofu soup, stir-fried tofu, stewing fish with tofu, and so on. She was practically drooling. She quickly called her cousin to help harvest the soybeans. Yishua was also happy to find this wild food with such a large patch of soybeans, plus the sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and so on. This time, they would be able to trade for many things at the market. The rabbit tribe was short on resources, whether it was salt or medicinal herbs for cultivation. They needed to trade for them at the market. In the past, they could only trade meat and skins, which led to food shortages. Now, with the various foods Qingyan found, the rabbit tribe could finally manage to survive. By the time they returned to the tribe, it was already dark. As soon as they reached her uncle's house, they heard crying, "Chief, please save my grandmother." She fell down and lost consciousness. Yishua, go quickly and fetch the witch doctor. Qingyan thought her wood element power might be helpful for injuries, so she followed them to take a look. Arriving at the small cave, she saw an unconscious old woman lying inside. She was so thin she was just skin and bones. She looked extremely malnourished. Beside her was Gasi, who was crying. Supposedly, he was 12 years old, but he was so thin and small. He looked only 8 or 9. Looking at the empty cave and the yard with almost nothing in it, she realized the dire situation of the tribe was even worse than she had thought. The rabbit tribe had many people, but very few who were actually capable of hunting. Qingyan quietly sent some wood element power to the old woman to ensure her body was stable. Then someone outside called out that the witch doctor was here. Then, a man with pale skin and a teardrop mole at the corner of his eye walked in. His enchanting eyes seemed naturally full of affection, making Qingyan's heart skip a beat. As soon as he appeared, everyone in the room couldn't help but fix their gaze on him. "Master Wu Zhe, please save my grandmother." Wu Zhe stepped forward and sat by the bed. He reached out to check Grandma Lin's pulse. The room was silent. No one dared to disturb him. After the diagnosis, Wu Zhe took out silver needles for acupuncture. His fingers moved with incredible speed. The silver needles seemed to carry a certain power. Qingyan couldn't help but look at the witch doctor's hands. His hands were long and jade-like, with distinct knuckles, like the hands of a male protagonist in a manga. After a long time, Wu Zhe retracted the needles. He said her condition was temporarily stable, but she still needed proper nourishment. It was just as Qingyan had thought. It was mainly caused by long-term malnutrition. But there were many people like Grandma Lin in the tribe. No matter how much strength the tribe had, they couldn't completely solve this situation. Relying solely on hunting supplies was simply not enough to feed all the tribe members. She still had to help. She needed to find more types of new food for the tribe. Wu Zhe stood up to leave. For some unknown reason, he slowly turned his head to look at Qingyan. That one look made Qingyan feel as if her soul was being drawn out, especially when his gaze landed on her belly. "Miss Yi is pregnant. You should rest more these few days." Qingyan unnaturally tried to avoid his knowing gaze. "Thank you for your concern, Master Wu Zhe. Miss Yi doesn't need to be so formal. If there is anything you need, you can come to find me." Saying that, he opened an oil paper umbrella and stepped into the rain. After he left, the woman sighed with relief for some reason. After returning, she made a small nest out of licorice. She put the eggs in to try and hatch them. "Can this really hatch chicks? If we can really raise chickens in the yard like you say, and have eggs to eat, then many more people in the tribe will survive. That would be a great service. These are just some grass seeds. They don't look like they can be eaten. Mother, you'll see tomorrow." The next day, Qingyan found her cousin to help build a stone mill. 2 stone mills were quickly constructed. By the morning, the soybeans were already soaked. Now they could be ground directly. She poured some in and began to turn the stone mill. Where the soybean juice came out from below, she placed a clean wooden bucket. In a short while, the aroma of soybeans began to spread. Smelling this fragrance, a smile appeared on Qingyan's face. The most primal scent of food truly smells the best. Yishua and Yirong were completely stunned. The two of them stared blankly, taking a long time to snap out of their shock. So this is how the food their sister mentioned is made. Yishua couldn't have imagined it before. How those soybeans could turn into food. So it turns into food like this. When Qingyan finished boiling the soy milk, the two of them took a sip. Their eyes widened. So delicious and fragrant. Next, Qingyan made some egg pancakes. After leaving some for themselves, she used a wooden tray to take a few to Grandma Lin. But what she didn't expect was that Wu Zhe was also at Grandma Lin's house. At this moment, she almost wanted to turn around and leave. The hand holding the basket stiffened. "Miss Yi is here." His voice was raspy and soft, making it impossible to tell his emotions. Since Wu Zhe had seen her, she couldn't pretend she hadn't come here. "So, the witch doctor is also here. Miss Yi, please feel at ease. No need to be so restrained." Gussie didn't understand the underlying tension. He looked up at the woman with a look of admiration. "Sister Yi, please come in." Thanks to Sister Yi, I followed the older brothers and sisters in the tribe and dug up many radishes and mushrooms. We don't have to go hungry anymore. Qingyan asked Gussie to bring a bowl and then poured out the soy milk from the bamboo tube. The fragrance instantly drifted out. And these are pancakes made with eggs and soybean juice. You and your grandmother eat them. Looking at the thin and small Gusi, Qingyan felt a twinge of sadness. But this was the current state of the tribe. When Qingyan was talking to Gusi, she felt a constant gaze on her. She could feel that it was Wu Zhe. Wu Zhe watched her, a hint of emotion appearing on his exquisite face. Very few females had such patience for small beastlings. He had a heartfelt gentleness about him. A gentle female. Wu Zhe originally didn't believe it. Gusi looked at the food in his hand, wanting to share some with Wu Zhe, to thank him for helping his grandmother, but he glanced at the woman with hesitation. After all, she was the one who brought the food. Qingyan wanted to leave as soon as possible. Wu Zhe's presence here made her heart pound, but she also didn't want to hurt the child's feelings, so she steeled herself and handed a bowl to Wu Zhe. Wu Zhe reached out to take it, and their fingertips inadvertently touched. Qingyan felt as if she had been shocked. Her fingers quickly retracted. Luckily, Wu Zhe had already taken the bowl. When he drank the soy milk, his movements were slow and deliberate, extremely elegant. This made Qingyan even more curious about his background. How could such a person come to a low-tier rabbit tribe to be a witch doctor? Wu Zhe finished the soy milk, his expression shifting slightly. The soy milk she made is very good. If people in the tribe drink more soy milk like this, it will be beneficial to their health. Soy milk is indeed beneficial to the human body, and it's very nutritious. Miss Yi is pregnant, so you will need a lot of food as well. But Miss Yi must also be careful. Careful of what? She looked up at him, meeting his eyes. Miss Yi probably doesn't know the Snow Wolf King's situation. In the entire Beast World continent, only you have such fertility to bear offspring for the Wolf King, and it's a pure-blood snow wolf, with extraordinary talent. Testing is usually very useful, but when it comes to reproductive ability, it can't be detected during testing. Miss Yi, tell me, if someone knew this, what would they do? Even the Wolf King has enemies. By the time Qingyan recovered her senses, Wu Zhe had already disappeared from where he stood. So, the child in her belly is a little snow wolf? She thought it would be a rabbit-wolf hybrid, remembering the little snow wolf in her dream. So soft, fluffy, and cute. Qingyan's heart felt like it was melting. No matter what, she had to become stronger. To protect her child, she needed to accelerate the improvement of her abilities. But why did Wu Zhe tell her and warn her about these things? Is he really that kind-hearted? Qingyan returned home after saying goodbye to Gusi. She took out the rami she found yesterday. These could be used to make linen thread, and then turned into linen cloth. The rabbit tribe was a low-tier tribe. All the beastmen wore animal skin clothes. In the central imperial city, they all wore silk and fine robes. Beastmen in low-tier tribes simply couldn't afford them, especially the rabbit tribe, who hadn't even solved their food problem. They naturally couldn't use food to trade for such clothes. But Qingyan could teach everyone how to make linen bags and linen clothes to let the tribe develop slowly, and they could be traded for necessary items at the market. In the following days, Qingyan led the tribe to gather soybeans, dig sweet potatoes, and collect rami to make linen cloth. While everyone was busy, this afternoon, Yu returned to the rabbit tribe. As soon as he saw Qingyan, the longing in his eyes couldn't be contained anymore. He rushed over and pulled her into his embrace, his hands carefully avoiding her belly. He held her tighter and tighter. As he inhaled the sweet fragrance from Qingyan's body, his empty heart was suddenly filled. Did you miss me? Qingyan leaned against his chest, smelling his familiar cool scent, and realized she truly had been thinking about him. She nodded obediently. I did. Yu's heart trembled at her soft voice. He wished he could embed her into his very bones. Suddenly, Qingyan caught the scent of blood on him. Are you injured? Yu gently straightened her hair. No. This is someone else's blood. It turned out his absence during this period was to settle matters with the cat tribe. Now the threat from the cat tribe had been cleared, ensuring no one would dare strike at the rabbit tribe again. Qingyan looked up at him, his noble, restrained, and elegant appearance. Yu, even if you did nothing, many females would be fascinated by you, wouldn't they? Since you've become my mate. If all those females get jealous of me, what should I do? Follow me back to the Snow Wolf tribe. We will hold a grand sacrificial ceremony and announce it to the world. Anyone who dares to harm you will be an enemy of the Snow Wolf tribe. A feud until death. Qingyan was stunned by these words. She had originally asked Yu as a joke. No need for that, this is fine. She didn't want to be so high-profile, as if she were losing her freedom and living as a mere dependent of the Snow Wolf tribe. Besides, open spears are easy to dodge, but hidden arrows are hard to defend against. Ultimately, she had to rely on herself. But still, thank you. Qingyan. I don't want to thank you. Then use this as my gratitude, Qingyan. It's not enough. Let's go back to the cave. Alright? Qingyan knew exactly what would happen once they entered the cave. Let's talk after dinner. She prepared many delicacies Yu had never seen before, making him question his reality. Qingyan also realized that the variety of food in this world was too scarce. Even the food she had found these past few days was unknown to her predecessor's memory. Even the most prosperous areas of the imperial city didn't have these. She wanted to bring all kinds of delicacies to this world. The northern region has the richest resources. Qingyan smiled with full confidence. I can make all sorts of food that doesn't even exist in the imperial city. Those who look down on our northern region for being poor, we will build it into the most prosperous and bustling place. Will make them envious. The northern region was at the bottom of the beast world's hierarchy, but because of Yu Ye's strength, no one dared to invade easily. Qingyan looked at Yu, feeling he possessed an innate, holy brilliance. I will keep making delicious food for you. She was skilled in cooking and loved researching new dishes. Looking at her bright smile, Yu Ye's heart felt warm. You don't need to do these things. If you need anything, let me do it. I don't find it hard. Cooking makes me happy. You are my mate. So I want to be good to you as well. And I want to do something for the north. You are so wonderful. I really want to hide you away. You are so wonderful. I want to hide you away too. No need to hide. I am yours. Just then, the sound of footsteps came from outside. Qingyan quickly adjusted her expression. Her elder brother and mother had returned, bringing food with them. When Yu addressed them as mother and big brother, they were overwhelmed by the favor. The beast men from the village also came to thank Qingyan and brought food. Upon seeing the Snow Wolf King, everyone's face changed. They dropped their things and ran. People in the tribe were sighing in private, impressed that Qingyan had the capability to make the Snow Wolf King her mate. Late at night, Qingyan was soaking in a wooden tub when she suddenly heard footsteps. Yu came over with a ladle of water. I can wash myself. Last time in that cave, you were much bolder than you are now. As his warm breath brushed behind her ear, Qingyan felt numb all over. She had thought that day was just a dream, but now she remembered everything, how she wouldn't let go of his neck. She suddenly recalled it all. She didn't know where she got the courage last time. This man was incredibly dominant, and her small frame really couldn't handle him. However, in this world, strength was the rule. The stronger the mate, the more the female benefited. Not to mention he was the 9th-tier Snow Wolf King. He suddenly leaned in, his finger tracing her lips. You dared to scheme against me back then. But now you're scared? They went at it until dawn. She couldn't even lift a finger. She realized her powers had upgraded. There was more energy within her space. While she was enjoying the feeling, she looked up and saw Wu Zhe. Wu Zhe glanced at her and frowned. The girl's face was flushed with a lingering glow, and the red marks on her neck couldn't be hidden. She was clearly being doted on beyond measure by her mate. His gaze landed on Qingyan, undercurrents swirling in his eyes, carrying a dangerous yet enchanting aura. Detecting this sensation, Qingyan's expression shifted. She felt Wu Zhe was eerie and mysterious, of unknown origin, and completely different from any beast man she had encountered. Yu stepped out of the cave at that moment. He was startled when he saw Wu Zhe. He hadn't expected the rabbit tribe's doctor to be such a character. The man's noble air seemed completely natural. A faint aura surrounding Wu Zhe reminded him of a legend, a tribe that was said to have been exterminated long ago. Wu Zhe's strength was unfathomable, possibly having surpassed the 9th tier to enter the legendary transcendence realm. I see that Master Wu is not of the rabbit tribe. I wonder, what reason brought Master Wu to the rabbit tribe? A previous witch doctor of the rabbit tribe saved my life. He was my benefactor. I promise to be the rabbit tribe's doctor. To repay that kindness, I will do nothing to harm the rabbit tribe. Especially the Snow Wolf King's mate, Miss Yi. Yu knew Wu Zhe wasn't lying. Wu Zhe's noble temperament made it clear that he disdained lying. Thus, Yu brought out top-grade purple spirit stones as a gift. Wu Zhe refused. These are too valuable. I cannot accept them. Yu then took out some medicinal herbs. These are sent on behalf of Qingyan. Wu Zhe recognized this as Yu Ye's sense of territoriality, but he finally accepted them. After Wu Zhe left, Qingyan looked curious. Do you think there's something wrong with Wu Zhe? He reminds me of a legendary tribe. They were once the most powerful race on the Beast continent, born with peerless beauty and immense strength. But legend has it that over 100 years ago, that tribe was wiped out, with no survivors. The Snow Wolf tribe has ancient relics, drawings, recording certain characteristics of that race. The aura on him reminded me of that tribe. The Meiyao tribe. She hadn't expected the beast world to have such a mystical race. I thought there were only beast men and demonic beasts. The Meiyao are the oldest tribe in the beast world, specializing in sacrificial rites, divination, witchcraft, and medicine. They knew the heavens above and the earth below. Their rituals could summon spirits. They were once called demigods. All beastmen worshipped them. Many went to study with them. But the Meiyao only taught medicine. The medical skills of doctors today all originate from them, but it's only a fraction of their knowledge. After the Meiyao fell, much of their medical lore was lost. They had a unique constitution. Offspring were rare. They used testing stones to find highly fertile females, but their heirs could only be male. No one knows their tribe's inner secrets. If Wu Zhe truly is of the Meiyao, it would be truly incredible. The stones that test fertility, do those belong to their tribe too? Yes, those stones were invented by their tribe. I suspect you have a divine fertility level, which caused the stone to fail. Forgive me. I shouldn't have said those things. It's fine, I'm just surprised. I love our child very much. But I don't want people to know just yet. I'm worried someone might harm him. We must keep it secret at least until the wolf pup is born. Qingyan thought of Wu Ze's warning. Though she was fearless herself, she had to be more cautious now with a child. Her wood element ability was currently nourishing her body. The cute little snow wolf she saw in her dream had made her maternal instincts overflow. Moreover, she sensed that the little snow wolf was born with her wood element ability, as well as the snow wolf's ice element power. This really surprised her. Do young beast men in the beast world ever have dual abilities? That is extremely rare. Even if they do, it's an isolated case. I have ice system power. Not a water element ability. Melted ice is water. But water element users can control all water. Regardless of whether the child has abilities, they will be the next leader of our snow wolf tribe. I will love and protect them. It doesn't matter if they have no power. This is our child. My treasure. But what if it's a rabbit or a hybrid? Hybrids had low status in the beast world and were often discriminated against by nobles. But Qingyan knew her constitution was strong. She should be birthing a little snow wolf. Yu smiled and stroked her hair. Our child is a treasure either way. As long as I'm here, I will protect them. Qingyan looked at him, her heart feeling warm. The more she knew Yu, the more she liked him. Transmigrating to the beast world was actually quite good. Over the next few days, with Yu's company, Qingyan's complexion became even more radiant. She occasionally made him fried meat with chives, fried eggs with chives, and even stir-fried chives. Yu ate so many chives he started to look a bit green. She had wood element powers, so ripening chives in winter was easy. Suddenly, Yu received intelligence from the mist forest. Demonic beasts were frantically striking the barrier lately. Once the barrier broke, the entire demonic clan would invade the beast world, and every tribe would be in danger. Qingyan's face turned pale. Yu couldn't leave her and looked at her with concern. Though Qingyan was reluctant to let him go, she knew this was his responsibility as king of the north. If she were strong enough, she would help him. But right now, she only had a first-tier wood element ability. Yu stepped forward and gave her a tight hug, carefully avoiding her belly. His eyes were filled with deep reluctance. Qingyan hugged him back tightly. Don't let anything happen to you. She knew reinforcing the barrier was no simple task. That barrier was created long ago by the powerful ancestors of the snow wolf tribe. It was said that many snow wolves were sacrificed then. She wanted to selfishly keep Yu here, but she knew she couldn't. She also wanted to accompany him to the border, but reason told her she was pregnant and couldn't go to dangerous places, especially since it was so close to the demonic energy. The snow wolf tribe's ice energy could restrain the demonic aura to some extent, but her base form was just a rabbit, and her power was wood element, not ice element. After Yu left, Qingyan felt a sense of loss in her heart. Since he had to rush back, he could face danger at any moment. She was indeed a bit uneasy. She could only keep herself busy by searching for new food on the mountain. Unexpectedly, she ran into Wu Ze picking flowers. Wu Ze was holding a sprig of oilseed rape flower. Qingyan's eyes lit up. Oilseed flowers can produce seeds for pressing oil, and that oil can be used for cooking. Fresh oilseed greens can also be eaten. This was good stuff. Despite her reluctance to get close to Wu Ze, she took the initiative to ask, Master Wu, where can this flower be found? In that valley. But do not hurry, for you will give birth in 6 days. Qingyan looked surprised and incredulous. Did he know the timing with such precision? This forced her to believe what Yu had said earlier. Was he really of the Meiyao tribe? If he was, then his words must be true. So Qingyan felt that, in these next few days, she needed to prepare more things for the baby. Thank you. Regardless, she had to thank him. After bidding Wu Ze farewell, she went home to prepare. On the night of the 6th day, the sky was suddenly filled with thunder and lightning, followed by heavy rain. Qingyan couldn't sleep because of the thunder. Suddenly, she felt something unusual in her belly. Before she could even get ready, she gave birth to a little snow wolf moments later. It went very smoothly. The little snow wolf emitted a pure blue light that shot directly into the sky, causing an earth-shaking sensation. That night, all the beast men on the continent saw it. This celestial phenomenon shocked all the factions in the beast world, a pure-blood beast born with a spiritual body. At the same time, a group of masked, black-clad beastmen entered the rabbit tribe silently. They were heading straight for the cave where Qingyan was. But before they could enter, a figure holding a black umbrella blocked their path. It was actually Wu Ze. Qingyan had just given birth, and her wood element ability had transferred to the child. Watching the movement in the courtyard, she naturally saw Wu Ze. The little snow wolf in her arms seemed to be sleeping, with blue light swirling around its body. Looking at his dual element abilities, his wood element and ice element powers had jumped from 1st tier to 3rd tier instantly. Then the little snow wolf transformed into a human. Qingyan was completely stunned. At that moment, on a high mountain, an old man in seclusion suddenly opened his eyes. He looked at the distant blue light in shock. A young beast man beside him asked, "Master, what is happening?" "A pure-blood beast man with a natural spiritual body has been born." Incredible. Long, long ago, before the Mayao tribe fell, their high priest once performed a divination. It was said that once a natural spiritual body appeared, it meant a beast man destined by fate would emerge to save our beast world. The structure of the world will be reorganized, and an era of prosperity will begin. The fighting continued outside. Qing Yan held the child and looked out. She could see Wu Zhe fighting the black-clad assassins. As time passed, his clothes were stained with blood. She didn't quite understand why he was saving her. After he finally dealt with the assassins, Wu Zhe turned around and walked over slowly. "Don't be afraid. I am here." Hearing those words, Qin Jian's heartstrings were somehow deeply touched. The child woke up. Why isn't he crying? He is fine, very good. His talent level is now the highest on the continent. But because he has a spiritual body, he will be coveted by all factions and even demonic beasts. We need to protect him first. We cannot stay here long. We must leave quickly. Is the rabbit tribe okay? They were coming for you. As long as you leave, the rabbit tribe will be safe. Suddenly, a powerful gale swept through the air and a dark demonic aura appeared. Wu Ze's expression changed. "Forgive me," he cut his finger and drew something in the air with his blood. Then, with his bare hands, he seemed to tear open a void barrier. Wu Ze uncontrollably spat out a mouthful of blood. "Wu Ze, how are you?" "I'm fine. Let's go in first." After they went inside, before Qin Jian's eyes was a meadow filled with birds and flowers. There were wooden houses, plants, and waterfalls, like a paradise. "Where is this?" "It was once a dwelling of my tribe. I moved it into a void secret realm. We stay here for now. We'll leave once his aura can be concealed." "Wu Ze. Wu Ze, wake up, wake up." She could only place the child on the bed in the wooden house and then move Wu Ze inside to lie down on a bed. She checked Wu Ze's pulse and found that his physical condition was extremely serious. "What should I do?" Just then, a childish voice spoke. "Mama." Qin Jian's whole body shook. Looking down, she saw the baby sitting up. He was looking at her with big, beautiful eyes. "Baby?" Qing Yan was incredibly excited. The baby reached out. "Mama, Mama, I'm not that fragile. You can hold me however you like." "Oh, Mama, don't worry. This uncle is seriously injured, but I can save him." "You can save him? Really?" "Mama, it's true. Uncle saved me and Mama, I can save him. But you're still so small. How can you save him?" "Mama, help me over there." The baby examined him. "Uncle is okay for now. He will wake up after sleeping for a while. But his old internal injuries are so heavy, it requires a very powerful wood element ability to repair them. But there is another great way to make Uncle's internal and old injuries better." "What way?" "It's for Mama to have little brothers and sisters with this uncle." "Child, you can't say such things." "Mama, I'm serious. I'm not lying to you." "Mama, how do you know these things?" "The knowledge is just in my head. Let's stay here for now." "Was that demonic aura outside coming for you?" "Mama, I'm sorry. I'm still small and weak. So I couldn't stop that demonic energy. Let me grow a bit stronger. Then I can suppress them. And they won't dare to come near me." "Is it because you have a spiritual body?" "Mama, someone with my constitution cultivates very fast. They'll get strong very quickly." "Mama, don't hate me. Mama loves you." "How could I hate you? You are so cute and well-behaved. I can't love you enough." "I love you too, Mama." "Mama, what's my name?" "Your nickname will be Debeo for now. Well, wait for your father to return to give you a formal name. By the way, are you hungry? What do you want to eat? How should Mama take care of you?" "I want to eat Mama's cooking. Mama's roasted fish is delicious." It turns out those things in her dreams were real. "Mama will cook for you right away." Luckily, she had her space ability and she had stored plenty of ingredients inside earlier. They were finally coming in handy. Fortunately, this wooden house had pots, pans, firewood, and other necessities. Qing Yan scanned her space with her mind, only to find that a small stream had suddenly appeared in it. She thought she was seeing things, but after checking carefully again, she realized it really was a small stream. The stream water looked different from the water outside, glimmering with a subtle luster. Qing Yan quietly took some water from the space and took a sip. It tasted incredibly sweet. It felt very soothing after drinking it. She felt her weak body regain a bit of strength. She took a spoonful and gave it to Debeo. Debeo took a sip and smiled happily. You sleep for a while first. Mama will cook first. I'll call you when the food is ready. Yi Qingyan then entered the space. This time, she found that the farmland in the space had grown larger. There were 2 cans of formula on the table in the farmhouse yard, as well as baby bottles and other baby supplies. Most importantly, there were some wheat seeds. Seeing the wheat seeds, Yi Qingyan was most excited. Wheat seeds. With wheat seeds, I can plant wheat in bulk within the space. I can also accelerate its growth, so I can eat flour sooner. But seeing these things, she was very confused in her heart. How did new things suddenly appear in the space? Didn't they only appear when I put them there before? The host bears offspring for high-quality beastmen, and the space will provide rewards. The host will also accumulate merit points. This voice suddenly rang out in the space. But there was no voice in the space before. Are these things the rewards? Is there anything else? What are the merit points you mentioned for? However, the system did not answer this time. She sensed the movement outside and found that Debeo was still sleeping. She was in no hurry to go out and began to plant the wheat seeds in the space's farmland. After coming out, Yi Qingyan began to build a fire and cook. She used the spiritual spring water from the space to simmer sweet potato and egg porridge. While Debeo was asleep, he vaguely caught the delicious aroma. Then he opened his eyes and sat up. He rubbed his eyes with his hands. Mama. Baby, you're awake. Help me down. I can walk by myself. He then supported himself on the ground and stood up. He walked while holding onto the wall. He didn't walk very smoothly. He was a bit clumsy. He even fell once in the middle. It made Yi Qingyan feel very distressed. She went to support him. Bringing him to the table, he was still a bit small and couldn't climb onto the chair to sit down. Yi Qingyan picked him up and put him on the chair. This is formula. This is sweet potato and egg porridge. Mama, this porridge is so good. Mama's cooking is the best. Mama is the best in the world. You child, your mouth is so sweet. When you grow up, I wonder how many females you'll attract. If you like it, Mama will make all kinds of delicious food for you. At bedtime, there was only one bed, and the unconscious Wu Zhe was lying on it. Yi Qingyan couldn't just go and sleep on the bed too. She found some clean grass and spread it on the ground. She placed Debeo on the inner side of the bed to sleep. She planned to sleep on the pile of grass on the ground. Mama, you come up too. You just sleep on the bed. Mama will sleep on the floor. Why won't Mama sleep on the bed? That wouldn't be good for your Uncle Wu. Although there was no such thing as chastity on the Beastman continent, Yi Qingyan felt it was inappropriate. She coaxed and deceived Debeo into sleeping on the bed by himself. She, on the other hand, slept on the pile of grass, but it was too hard, and she wasn't used to it, so she had insomnia and tossed and turned until midnight before falling asleep. Moreover, when she woke up the next morning, she was stiff all over. Her neck was so stiff she couldn't move it. Mama, Debeo will blow on it for you. Saying so, Debeo placed a small hand on Yi Qingyan's neck. Wood element energy surged, and only then did Yi Qingyan's neck feel better. Well, Mama just accidentally made you worry. If Mama doesn't want Debeo to worry, then sleep on the bed with Debeo. Uncle Wu won't move around while sleeping. We won't move around either, so Uncle Wu won't know. Besides, Daddy has already entrusted Mama to Uncle Wu. What do you mean by entrusted? It's just that 4 nights ago while Mama was sleeping, Daddy came back to see Mama. I heard Daddy say to Mama that if he couldn't return from sealing the barrier, he would let Uncle Wu be Mama's second husband to take care of her. Ah? You're saying your daddy came back these past few nights? But I didn't know, because Mama was asleep. So naturally you wouldn't know. Daddy talked to Mama a lot by himself. Daddy said the situation on sister's side is serious and he might not be able to return. He channeled some power into Mama, and also told me to take good care of Mama after I was born. Daddy said he will definitely come back. If Mama can't sleep well again, then Debeo is useless. I haven't taken good care of you. You child, you've practically become a spirit. No wonder you didn't look for your daddy after you woke up and didn't ask anything. It turns out you understand everything because I can feel that Daddy is still alive. However, Daddy has things to do and can't come. With Uncle Wu here, he can protect Mama. Mama, at night, Debeo wants to be on the bed with Mama. Debeo wants Mama to accompany him. When Mama is on the floor, Debeo feels sorry for Mama. Debeo will sleep on the floor too. Alright then, tonight let your Uncle Wu lie on the innermost side, you in the middle, and Mama on the outermost side. That way it shouldn't affect anything. But you must not tell your Uncle Wu about this later. Anyway, he's in a deep sleep right now and doesn't know what's going on outside. Mama, I won't say anything. Debeo is a good baby. I will do what I promised Mama. Debeo is so good. When it was time to go to bed and lie down at night, even though Yi Qingyan was lying on the outermost side and Debeo was in the middle, it was fine. But for some reason, she could still smell a faint medicinal fragrance. She knew that was the scent on Wu Ze's body. This scent even had a kind of captivating feeling. She didn't fall asleep until she was very tired in the middle of the night. But little did she know, neither mother nor son were very still while sleeping. Yi Qingyan was dazed in her dream, feeling as if she were hugging a piece of cold jade as she slept. When she woke up the next day, she found her entire person like an octopus wrapped around Wu Ze. She opened her eyes and saw Wu Ze's face, as beautiful as an enchantress. Her heart skipped a beat. Sorry, I really didn't mean to. Wait. You're asleep, you don't know anything. Mama, Uncle Wu's body is a bit better. It's indeed much better. But my wood element ability also seems to have strengthened. Last night when Mama and Uncle Wu were close together, Mama's internal energy could also automatically repair Uncle Wu's internal injuries. Mama could also enhance her own wood element ability. It can even work like that? Although there are benefits this way, Debeo, we can't do this. After breakfast, Yi Qingyan went out with Debeo in her arms. They entered the forest and she had Debeo use his wood element ability to cut down a very thick tree. With the wood element ability, it was just like carving with a knife. The tree's wood could be cut into any shape desired. Yi Qingyan laboriously crafted a wooden bed. Then she found some stones and had Debeo help grind the stones down to make a small stone mill. The wooden bed was moved to the wooden house and the small stone mill was moved into the space. This way, the wheat accelerated in the space could be ground into flour. When they walked toward the nearby mountain forest, they found a lot of medicinal herbs, as if they had been planted there by someone. Mama, medicinal herbs. So many medicinal herbs. Yi Qingyan was also very excited to see so many medicinal herbs. Mama, these few medicinal herbs can be brewed into medicine to strengthen the body. Good. Mama will use these herbs to brew medicine. But we are using your Uncle Wu's herbs. So we still have to repay him later. In this way, for several consecutive days, the mother and son had already explored all around the wooden house. They knew there were many medicinal herbs nearby and no wild beasts. There were just some fish in the river to give Debeo a balanced diet. Yi Qingyan caught fish and boiled fish soup for Debeo to drink. Of course, every day she would also use spiritual spring water to brew medicine for Wu Ze. At night, after the two had eaten their fill, Yi Qingyan brewed the medicine and came to the bedside. She fed it to Wu Ze as usual. Lord Wu, I don't know when you will wake up. These medicines are good for your body. They can repair your old injuries. Checking your pulse these past few days, I feel your body is much better. Today we caught 2 fish in the river and made fish soup. We also picked some medicinal herbs. I just discovered today that there is sugarcane in the mountain forest here. That's simply great. Sugarcane can be used to make sugar. You're still the same as before. But just as she was feeding the medicine and reporting, Wu Ze slowly opened his eyes. Missy. Yi Qingyan saw him wake up and she couldn't hold the medicine bowl steadily. It fell to the floor all at once. Well, you're awake? I was just feeding you medicine. I know. You know? Thank you, Miss Yi, for saving me. You also saved me and Debeo, and you fell into a deep sleep because of us. Speaking of which, I should be the one to thank you. This was also something I promised you, Xian. Wu Ze took out a piece of jade slip. With a flick of his finger, a projection from the jade slip was revealed. This was the scene from 4 days ago. The Snow Wolf King visiting late at night. Is there anything the matter? This time, the situation with the barrier in the mist forest is serious. Demonic energy and demonic beasts are gushing out. I must lead the members of the Snow Wolf tribe to reinforce the barrier and guard the North Pass. In truth, I owe it to Ayan. On the day she gives birth, I might not be able to stay by her side. If there is danger, I request that Lord Wu lend a helping hand. Even the legendary noble and cold Snow Wolf King has times when he begs someone like this. As long as she and the child are safe, what does even begging someone matter? Lord Wu, you can state your requirements and conditions. Consider it that I owe you a favor. You should know that with our level of strength, only as a beast husband will we protect a female. I will do my best to protect. I know Ayan is so good. She won't have only one beast husband because in the northern district, only you have the powerful strength to protect her safety. The prince of the Meiyao tribe. It's rumored that the prince of the Meiyao tribe's word is as good as gold and he never breaks a promise. Worthy of the Snow Wolf King, nothing can be hidden from you. Since it can't be hidden from you, you should also be able to guess why I came here. The target was him from the start, not a target. I came for her. I will not harm her in the slightest. No conditions are needed. As long as you don't stop me from doing what I want to do. As long as it's for Ayan's own good. And as long as she agrees, I will naturally respect any of her decisions. Miss Yi, what you see here is a real projection for you to see. This is also just to tell Miss Yi that from the very beginning, coming to secretly be a doctor, it was to wait for Miss Yi. Besides, now Miss Yi has held me. I am already Miss Yes person. Naturally, I should tell Miss Yi these things. I want to be Miss Yes Beast husband. Beast? Beast husband? You know I held you? Although I was in a deep sleep, I was aware of the movements outside. In that case, would it be alright if I were your second beast husband? If Miss Yi doesn't want a relationship of responsibility, then treat it as if nothing happened. I will still take care of and protect Miss Yi and the child, and I will also help conceal Debayo's spiritual body constitution. Whatever I can do, I will do. I didn't say I wouldn't take responsibility. I just want to know about what you said, that you came for me. What exactly is going on? Also, you are from the Mayao tribe. I heard the Mayao tribe was wiped out. However, if it's inconvenient for you to answer, you don't have to. Wu Zhe raised his eyebrows slightly. Whatever you want to know, I will tell you. More than 100 years ago, it was exactly Wu Zhe's 300th birthday coming-of-age ceremony. Before the ceremony even began, a traitor appeared in the tribe, destroyed the barrier, and let the enemies in. Wu Zhe originally wanted to go out and fight for his life, but the enemy's strength was simply too high. They directly knocked Wu Zhe down in a pool of blood. At the critical moment, Wu Zhe's father performed blood divination. Finding a glimmer of life, he sealed the heavily injured Wu Zhe in a Dharma treasure. 100 years later, he went to be a doctor for the rabbit tribe in the northern district's Zhonghua Valley, waiting for a female who could save the entire tribe. Just like that, Wu Zhe was picked up by the rabbit tribe's doctor and remained hidden until Qinjian's appearance a short while ago. Yi Qingyan keenly caught the blind spot. Wait, there are so many females in the rabbit tribe. How did you lock onto me so precisely? Because there is a resonance between pure-blooded Mayao beasts. After that catastrophe, I am the only remaining pure blood, and more importantly, only you can give birth to pure-blooded offspring for me, thereby inheriting the powerful ancestral legacy. Otherwise, the Mayao tribe will truly have no descendants. As for me now, because of the heavy injuries back then, only about 10 to 20% of my strength remains. Although I carry a heavy responsibility, I absolutely do not want to force you to do anything you're unwilling to do. Hearing this, Yi Qingyan finally understood the core demand. Basically, he came to find her to have children. Just as her feelings were complicated, the spatial system in her mind rang out again. High-quality male beast man Wu Zhe detected. As long as you give birth to pure-blooded offspring with him, your strength can be enhanced, your lifespan extended, and you can also accumulate merit points along the way. Yi Qingyan's mouth twitched violently. Merit and strength were indeed the capital she most urgently needed right now to protect herself and her child. Alright, don't look as if you're afraid of mistreating me. If there's no forcing, this child can be born. As soon as these words came out, Wu Zhe was first stunned, then spoke from the bottom of his heart. Thank you. From now on, I will protect you with my life. That's not necessary. Yi Qingyan rolled her eyes and immediately instilled in him modern safety concepts. Your safety is the most important thing at all times. Safety first, do you understand? Besides, since you become my beast husband, I'll also become stronger to cover for you in the future. Dazzled by the phrase "I'll cover for you," Wu Zhe instantly showed a look of being overwhelmed by favor. He had lived for hundreds of years, and this was the first time he had heard of a female wanting to protect her husband. At that moment, his heartstrings trembled with emotion. Just as the atmosphere was heading toward pink bubbles, Yi Qingyan changed the subject. By the way, what exactly happened back then when your clansmen were killed? Or rather, which beast tribe did it? Mentioning the tragic case from back then, a crimson cold light rose in Wu Zhe's eyes. The beastmen who attacked us back then were all masked in black. Their origin is a mystery. The most terrifying thing is that many of them were actually in the transcendent realm. You should know that in the entire beastman continent, reaching the 9th rank of the mortal realm is already considered the ceiling. Great masters who can reach the transcendent realm are few and far between. Therefore, this group of people seem to appear out of thin air and disappear out of thin air. I have investigated secretly for many years, and so far, I have not found any clues. Moreover, their sense of purpose was extremely strong. It was almost like they came for a $0 shopping spree. All the resources of the Mayao tribe were completely looted by this force. After listening to these words, Yi Qingyan touched her chin. What things from your tribe were looted the most? Food and medicinal herbs. That matches up. Yi Qingyan snapped her fingers. No wonder so many rare medicinal herbs grow in this secret realm. Those were what I planted in the tribe back then. But since you are here, what's mine is yours from now on. Everything here is up to you. Facing the sudden transfer of property, Yi Qingyan was not polite either. The spiritual energy here is much more abundant than outside. It is simply an excellent natural farm. Since that group of mysterious people is short of food, then we will launch a big counterattack. We will plant radishes in bulk here. as well as soybeans and various other vegetable crops. Not only that, I also found sugarcane in this secret realm. This is a treasure that can produce sugar. In your beast world, the only sweet taste is expensive honey, which ordinary people simply can't afford. If I boil this sugarcane into sugar, plus the flour I just ground from wheat, and the maltose I'll make, it could definitely monopolize the market. Ha ha ha, when the time comes to earn large amounts of gold coins with sugar, rapidly developing our influence won't be a problem. Looking at Yi Qingjian's glowing face as she described the future, for some reason, in Wu Ze's originally bullet-riddled heart, a glimmer of bright hope actually emerged. Seeing that you've just woken up, you must be hungry. When you're in a bad mood, only good food should not be disappointed. Today I'll let you see what wontons are. You go drink your medicine first and wash up. Just leave the important kitchen business to me to handle. Wu Ze originally wanted to help, but hearing the word wontons, something he'd never heard of before, he knew that if he went, he'd only be getting in the way. He could only feel warmth in his heart and obediently followed the arrangement. Yi Qingyan turned around and plunged into the kitchen. Just as she rolled up her sleeves, Debeo, who had followed her in, unexpectedly dropped a bombshell. Mama, are you going to have little brothers and sisters with Uncle Wu right away? Yi Qingyan almost choked on her own saliva. Although your mama agreed, we still have to cultivate feelings with your Uncle Wu first and go through the motions. How can we directly jump into having children as soon as we start? Hearing this, Debeo nodded as if he half understood. Anyway, Debeo likes little brothers and sisters. Debeo will share all the good things with them. Yi Qingyan rubbed Debeo's head and quickly changed the subject. While using spiritual spring water to knead the dough, chopped cabbage, and mincemeat for the filling, she told Debeo fables and stories. The dough flew in her nimble hands, smoothly wrapping into round and cute little wontons. Just then, Wu Ze, who had finished washing up, happened to step into the kitchen. When his gaze fell upon the never-before-seen wontons, his pupils shrank violently and his heart was instantly filled with overwhelming shock. In a daze, he felt as if he were pulled back to the Meiyao tribe's sacrificial ancestral hall. Back then, when the high priest was performing divination, he had drawn several patterns that no one could decipher, and at this very moment, those mysterious patterns had actually been materialized by Yi Qingyan into the dough on the cutting board. Daddy! With this shout, Yi Qingjian's hand shook, and she almost pinched the moist wonton in her hand into a dead lump of dough. She looked at her own kid in shock. Good heavens, this little rascal changes faces faster than flipping a book. He actually taught himself without being told, and directly upgraded Uncle Wu to daddy. Looking at Wu Ze, his originally tense expression instantly softened like spring rain. He stepped forward quickly, his eyes full of unconcealable joy. Hey, Debeo is so good. As a pure-blooded spiritual body snow wolf beastman, this child not only has dual-type abilities but also possesses the ancestral inheritance. He is so smart it's almost supernatural. Wu Ze was quite pleased with being called daddy. Debeo keenly noticed Wu Ze's physical weakness. Daddy Wu, Mama is making wontons. As long as you eat what Mama makes, your body will get better. Thank you, Debeo. Wu Ze gently rubbed his head. Don't be afraid, Debeo. Even though you have a top-tier spirit body, once Daddy Wu recovers a little, I will use a secret technique to help you seal the aura of your spirit body. When our family goes out, then we definitely won't be discovered by bad people. After comforting Debeo, Wu Ze finally turned his gaze toward Yi Qingyan. After washing up, he had shed his previous disheveled state. That breathtaking sense of radiance simply rushed toward her. Yi Qingyan quickly averted her eyes, giving a dry cough to hide her embarrassment. You're all set? Sit down for a while. The wontons can go into the pot soon. This food is called wontons? Wu Ze's voice carried a hint of unusual gravity. He casually picked up a feather brush nearby and quickly drew 3 shapes on a wooden board. Back then, in the high priest's divination room, these were the 3 patterns he drew. Later, when my father was at the edge of death, he told me that I must go to the Earth tribe to find a person. He said, you would bring unprecedentedly abundant food to the beast continent. My father's greatest wish in this life was to see the beast continent filled with plenty of food, because only when everyone is full will conflict decrease. The reason our Meiyao tribe was targeted and suffered genocide is likely because we mastered a method to store massive amounts of food for a long period. Yi Qingyan leaned over to glance at the drawings on the board. Good heavens, your high priest was practically a cross-world food blogger. The 3 things he drew are wontons, dumplings, and rice cakes. We'll have wontons for breakfast. For dinner, we'll have dumplings. As for rice cakes, we'll wait to arrange those until we find rice later. Hearing that food on the beast continent was so scarce, Yi Qingjian's internal capitalist radar instantly started pinging. Since food is a necessity here, it's definitely a highly profitable industry. We should go to a busy city in the central district to set up a food stall. Once we've saved enough money, we'll take over a large shop and open a top-tier restaurant. Those royal nobles love spending heavy gold to enjoy gourmet food. When we have money, we'll hire the most elite group of beastman mercenaries. At that time, we can protect Debeo while dragging our enemies out and trampling them under our feet. Hearing this simple, crude, yet highly actionable gourmet revenge plan, the gloom in Wu Ze's eyes was swept away. A true hermit hides in the city, using gourmet food to accumulate wealth and power? Good. I'll listen to you. For now, the most important thing was naturally to lie low and develop. This secluded secret realm was their best protection zone for beginners. We're in no hurry to go out now. The primary task is to nurture your health. Yi Qingyan briskly kneaded dough and pinched wontons as she set the tone. Once Wu Zhe recovered his strength, he could not only protect Debeo but also perform secret techniques to hide Debeo's conspicuous spirit body aura. The wontons were wrapped quickly, and soon, portions for 3 people were neatly arranged on the cutting board. Just as Yi Qingyan was about to start the fire to boil water, Wu Zhe had already naturally brought firewood from the yard and sat in front of the stove. Let me handle the fire. Looking at his smooth set of movements, Yi Qingyan couldn't help but feel a bit puzzled. You were once a prince of the Meiyao tribe. A legitimate heir. Didn't you need others to serve you? You have to do this rough work personally? Wu Zhe fell silent with a wry smile upon hearing this. You didn't think I'd never have to do anything, did you? As a male beastman, one must learn various survival skills from a young age. Otherwise, how could I take good care of my partner in the future? This suggestive sentence, combined with his low, alluring voice, was practically nuclear in its lethality. The water's boiling, it's boiling. Dropping the wontons. When they were almost cooked, she sprinkled a handful of chopped green onions, made a beautiful egg flour in the broth, and finally drizzled on the seasoning. Success! The 3 of them gathered around the table to eat. Although Debeo was newborn, he was very sensible. He firmly refused his mother's offer to feed him and insisted on eating independently with a small spoon. Watching Debeo pout his little mouth and blow on the hot soup so cutely, Yi Qingyan couldn't help the corners of her mouth turning up. Staying with this little guy simply cured all her mental fatigue. Mama, it smells so good. This is completely different from the food before. Debeo sniffled, his eyes sparkling. This is called flour-based food. Tonight Mama will make dumplings for you all. Eat slowly, careful not to burn your mouth. Seeing Debeo fidgeting impatiently, Wu Zhe quietly used a trace of spiritual energy. A gentle force swept across the bowl in front of Debeo. That scalding wonton soup instantly cooled to a temperature suitable for eating. However, this caused Wu Zhe's already unrecovered face to pale several degrees further. Debeo keenly noticed something was wrong and immediately put down his spoon with concern. Debeo can wait for it to cool down on its own. Daddy's health is the most important. Don't use your power recklessly. It's okay, you're still small. It won't do to starve your stomach. Go on and eat. Wu Zhe's heart softened and he gently rubbed Debeo's fluffy head. Debeo nodded obediently, scooped up a wonton, and stuffed it into his mouth. The next second, his eyes widened in surprise. So delicious. This is the best food Debeo has ever eaten. After saying that, he began to inhale the food, not even looking up. Slow down, there's more in the pot. Mama can boil more if it's not enough. Yi Qingyan was amused by him. She turned to look at Wu Zhe, who hadn't touched his chopsticks yet. You should try some too. When you eat good food, your mood will also improve. Wu Zhe elegantly picked up his spoon, scooped a wonton, and put it in his mouth. At that moment, his eyes widened in disbelief. How is it? Does it taste good? Yi Qingyan asked Wu Zhe expectantly, a fiery smile in the depths of her eyes. It is indeed a supreme delicacy that I have never tasted in my life. Breakfast was a joyful affair. Under the double nourishment of gourmet food and spiritual spring water, Wu Zhe's face finally regained a hint of color. After eating and drinking his fill, Debeo rubbed his round little belly and excitedly rolled twice on the bed. Mama, you said earlier you wanted to use that sugarcane stuff to make sugar. Let's go cut sugarcane right now. Alright, let's do it. You're still heavily injured, so just rest at home. Debeo and I will be back soon. No, I'll go with you. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Zhe put on a short robe. Immediately after, he very skillfully scooped Debeo into his arms. A thought suddenly flashed through Yi Qingyan's mind. Could it be that you're very afraid of sunlight? Wu Zhe sighed softly. During the war that destroyed my tribe, I was seriously injured and near death, and was sealed within a subterranean magical artifact. Though I've seen the light of day again after a century, I've been left with a sensitivity to light. Whenever I'm under the sun, my old injuries will flare up. Yi Qingyan's heart twinged. It will get better. It's fine, I'm used to it already. Chatting, the 3 of them reached the sugarcane field. This is sweet juice. Once we leave the secret realm, we can definitely make a fortune selling brown sugar. Yi Qingyan pointed at the sugarcane, her eyes full of a capitalist's glow. Just as Wu Zhe was about to nod, Debeo had already excitedly reached out his little hand. His ability flickered slightly. Crack! With a series of crisp snaps, a whole row of sugarcane fell over instantly. Yi Qingyan watched in stunned silence. Good heavens, this little tot is actually the power ceiling of their family, isn't he? With the help of his ability, peeling, juicing, and boiling was all done in one go. Yi Qingyan directed Wu Zhe to manage the fire for the sugar while she turned around to the kitchen to prepare lunch. Kneading dough, cutting noodles, and frying the meat sauce. Her movements were fluid. Before long, several bowls of steaming, hand-pulled noodles were brought to the table. Wu Zhe and Debeo were once again plunged into the shock of those who haven't seen the world. The two of them moved in uncanny unison, slurping and devouring the food like a whirlwind. Not even a drop of soup was left. Mama, these noodles are just too delicious. Debeo rubbed his round belly. No matter how good they are, you can't eat them every meal. Tomorrow Mama will make something different for you. Watching this scene, Wu Ze's heartstrings trembled slightly. On the beast continent, people rarely treated their cubs with such intimacy. He, moreover, had never been held by his mother since birth. It wasn't until meeting her that he understood motherly love could actually be this warm. In the afternoon, the brown sugar was finally done and cut into blocks. Looking at the formed sugar cubes, Yi Qingjian's internal radar pinged again. The beast world's food culture was so backward. As long as she made enough money with food to pull together an elite mercenary army, wouldn't she be able to walk horizontally on this continent later? A flash of inspiration struck her. Right, are there hawthorns in the secret realm? You mean those red berries? There are many in the depths of the secret realm. If you need them, I'll take you there. Great. With red berries, we can make candied haws. Yi Qingyan slapped her thigh excitedly. These things had low costs, but high profits. We wouldn't even need a storefront for sugar. Carrying a straw post while selling on the move, it would definitely be a blockbuster snack. The idea is good. However, the low-level beastmen at the market can barely afford to eat. I doubt they'd be willing to trade resources for snacks. Wait until we go to the busy streets of the central district cities, selling specifically to those rich noble beastmen. These candied haws will definitely make a huge profit. Once we're out, well, first go to the market to check things out, then go to the city to investigate. I've never actually been to a city to see it. The speaker was unintentional, but the listener was attentive. Wu Ze's eyes darkened slightly. The original host was a noble from the central imperial city. How could she have never been there? Combined with her transformative changes recently and the endless stream of gourmet food, a bold guess gripped his heart. She wasn't the original Yi Qingyan. This caused an unprecedented panic to instantly rise within him, fearing she would vanish into thin air at any moment just as she had come. What's wrong? Why has your face suddenly turned so pale? Yi Qingyan asked with concern. It's fine. As long as I'm by your side, I won't feel tired. The two of them, carrying Debeo, arrived at the ruined orchard. Looking at the large swaths of dead trees chopped down by the rioters back then, Yi Qingyan made a silent resolution. In the future, she must use her wood-type ability and spiritual spring water to bring these withered trees back to life. For now, she only picked a basket full of the intact hawthorns to prepare to make candied haws back home. Back at the wooden house, Yi Qingyan briskly wrapped dumplings and made candied haws. After dinner, the three sat in the yard to enjoy the cool air. To break the silence, Yi Qingyan told Debeo the story of the cowherd and the weaver girl. Who would have thought the plot of the fairy returning to heaven after repaying the favor would accurately hit Wu Ze's sensitive spot? The pressure around his body dropped visibly to the naked eye. Debeo fell asleep listening. When Yi Qingyan settled him back in bed and returned to the yard, she only felt the atmosphere was inexplicably tense. Just as she was about to find an excuse to slip away, Wu Ze saw through her retreat at a glance. Since reasoning won't keep her here, then he'll have to resort to any means necessary. Why are you coughing up blood again? Asterisk cough asterisk. I'm not sure why either. As long as Miss Yi stays by my side, I feel this hardship seems to fade away.